County Antrim is beautiful with great sceneries. Antrim has the beautiful Giant's Causeway. Yeah, a giant named Finn McCool built that. Good job, Finn. Antrim also has the Kerry Arid rope bridge and the beautiful glens of Antrim. Some pictures of the county might seem familiar. Well, some parts of Game of Thrones were filmed there. Also, Antrim is filled with angry preachers and the people, they're really friendly. You'll definitely notice it when you go there. Everyone's so polite, like if you ask for directions there, some people will show you, not just tell you. They're also a stereotype as a loyalist stronghold by other Irish people. Well, you tell me, is this a false stereotype? Also, Liam Neeson and the legend Van Morrison were born in Antrim. Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland, has a great nightlife and a housing crisis. About the locals, they never leave the city and say that once you're outside Belfast, you're a cutchy. The county has lots of local accents. Belfast alone has like 4 or 5 accents. The city is beautiful and some parts of it may take you back to the 70s, 60s, 50s, and so on. County Armagh is known as the ecclesiastical capital of Ireland, and it has 2 St. Patrick's cathedrals. Armagh was the city where St. Patrick founded his first church. So yeah, all of them have a picture of Christ hanging in their living rooms. And they only eat apples which they have picked from their own orchards, and wash that down with some of their own apple cider. The county also has these beautiful rolling hills, the Ring of Gallian and Lough Neagh, which is the biggest lake in the whole UK and Ireland. Armagh is all about festivals and markets, and about the locals, they're very confident about their God teams and drive quad bikes and dirt bikes to go to their farm. The county Carlow, aka Dolmen County, is named after the Browns Hill dolmen. Carlow only takes physical shape once every 100 years, but the rest of the time it's a state of mind. It's one of the most agricultural counties in Ireland and something sugar beet. They have a college in the county town, so it's filled with students 9 months of the year. And as a university town, outside of drinking, there isn't much to do there. Cavan is very rural and has lots of lakes. They're stereotyped to be cheap and stingy, like peel and orange in their pocket type cheap. They don't even leave the county because they don't want to spend money on fuel. Just joking. Speaking of which, listen to this joke. A Cavan man gets up from his chair and turns to his wife and says, "I'm going for a pint. Put your coat on." The wife says, "Oh, you want me to come with you?" "No, I'm turning the heating off." Clare is known for its beautiful lakes, beaches, and its great traditional music and hurling culture, which is an Irish sport, but the county is often overlooked. Clare is like the smart, cool kid in the class stuck between the 2 screaming, attention-seeking kids called Kerry and Galway. Their hobbies are playing the fiddle and dodging potholes. They also have the majestic cliffs of Moher and the Burren. The county town Ennis is multicultural with a great mix of people from all around the world. Cork is the second biggest city in Ireland. However, it still feels like a provincial country town in both good and bad ways. Cork's also the biggest county in Ireland by area. You can drive for hours and still be in Cork. Dare I say it's like the Texas of Ireland? And their hobbies are milking cows and lecturing everyone outside of Cork about how they're better than Dublin. When they're doing that, just smile and nod, and remember not to compare Cork to anything. The people there have a very unique accent that is about 2 octaves higher than the rest of the country, and they say boy at the end of their sentences. And despite what everyone tells you, the majority of people are friendly, warm, and love drinking Beamish. They're also known for their rich medieval and trading history and their jazz and film festival. And they have the Blarney Stone. Yeah, the one that you should kiss. And the western part of the county has some of the most beautiful scenery in Ireland. County Derry feels like a fancy version of Donegal. Derry is written like this, but it could also be written like this, but the first 6 letters are silent. They also have a great Halloween festival, the Derry Walls, plus this cool bridge. Also, the county is known for fishing and farming. And as for the people, they're lovely folks. Nowadays, Derry has improved a lot. But in the 70s, it was dealing with conflicts, tensions, and tragedies. And despite the improvements, there are still deprived areas in this county. And they mostly lack investment. If you're liking the video so far, please subscribe and check out my other Stereotypes videos. Donegal is in the northeast, and it's the forgotten county, but I'd like to call it a hidden gem. Yeah, they're far away, living in their own world up there. It's known for its Gaeltacht areas, beautiful beaches, and the Slively cliffs, which are ridiculously high. Donegal basically has the scenery of Kerry without all those tourists. The people have an accent thicker than their mammies too, and the accent is comforting and threatening at the same time. And what else? Lots of sheep, and they hold big rallying events there. And finally, their county town is Longford. Down is all about mountains and castles. It's home to Slieve Donard, which is the tallest peak in Northern Ireland. The northern part of the county is rich and posh, like the town of Hollywood, with one L. And these three towns make up Down's version of Bermuda Triangle. Some parts of Belfast are located in this county, and the majority of people are Protestant. As for attractions, they have the Mount Stuart House, this cool maze, and Strangford Lough. Overall, the county has gorgeous mountains, forest parks, and nice beaches, so you can always go for one of those lovely coastal walks. Fact: in some parts, you can literally see Scotland on a clear day over the sea. And about the county town, Downpatrick, they say the tomb of St. Patrick is located there. Dublin, the capital city. They make up about 30% of Ireland's population, and it seems like everything flows towards Dublin. Yeah, they say Dublin gets everything. Dublin practically feels like another country within Ireland. The cost of living is high, the public transit is a joke, and some areas are dirty with annoying teenagers and zombie-like people with syringes doing whatever they want in the broad daylight. So yeah, for what you pay, the quality of life could be a bit better. They're stereotyped to act like they're better than the rest of the country and look down on people from rural areas or just outside Dublin. So yeah, they say the Dubs cannot imagine a world beyond the M50. But of course, these are just the stereotypes. In reality, there are nice, friendly, and warm folks, along with those I mentioned earlier. What I personally like about Dublin is that unlike other big cities, the people are quite sociable, so you can chat with them on the bus or something. Many people there spend a good amount of their paychecks on commuting and love potatoes and Guinness. Well, I guess you could say that for the entire country. If you want to drink a Guinness, let it settle first, or else. Also, if you split the G, you have gained their utmost respect. And finally, the city has a great art, music, and comedy scene, but it can get really depressing during certain times of the year. No one has ever seen anyone from Fermanagh, and people don't think it's real. Fermanagh could be the wettest county in Ireland. Everyone from there is a farmer, everyone knows each other, and everyone could be tracked down by who they're related to. The county also has lots of beautiful lakes and hills. And the county town Enniskillen is a beautiful historic town, and it has the beautiful Enniskillen Castle. Galway is in the west, and it's a much-loved county. The county is beautiful and liberal, with a palpable bohemian culture. There are also tons of kebab shops and homeless people. The locals are stereotyped as artistic hipsters who are chatty, funny, and love rugby. In Galway, there are pubs every 100 meters, so yeah, they drink Guinness instead of water. But it's often damp in Galway, and it's usually raining, so most days will be windy and grey. But hey, get over it. Have a Guinness. The nightlife is great there, mostly thanks to the students who are everywhere. They make the city young and active. Many people, especially those students, eventually don't leave Galway, either because they love it or, I don't know, some kind of curse. Now, the housing situation isn't that great in Galway, and the traffic will drive you nuts. People from Kerry are clever and weird. They love football and have some of the best Gael footballers. They speak with a strong and thick rural accent and have the most Irish speakers in the country. This is Fungi, a dolphin that lives in the Atlantic. And there used to be a ton of tourism because of his existence. I don't know if he's still alive or not though. Kerry is a major tourist destination and no one can deny that it's gorgeous. The Ring of Kerry and Dingle Peninsula are heavenly and the cliffs look so majestic. And finally, the county town Tyrone gets a much worse reputation than it deserves. It has some areas that may be dodgy, but it's generally safe. Each person from Kildare spends about 4 hours a day commuting to Dublin, but they all deny having anything to do with that city. In fact, they have a rivalry with Dublin, yet the county is filled with Dubs, plus disruptive teenagers who roam around causing trouble. Their hobbies include going to horse racing events and working on stud farms. And their god teams are called Lilywhites, because I guess they wear an all-white playing kit. And the county town Naas has good local markets and events. Kilkenny is filled with red-headed alcoholists who are obsessed with hurling. As a matter of fact, the minute they pop out of the womb, they start beating each other with hurleys. They're mostly middle class, liberal, all of them grow wheat and barley, and go around driving their combines. And the county town Kilkenny is medieval and gorgeous, with people who are massively into sports. And there are lots of great shops and festivals. Laois is an underrated county located right in the middle of the country. Laois was called Queen's County, so they get teased by others because of that. They live honest and quiet lives and love collecting EU development grants. And the most important thing that their council does all year is picking up a motto. And the county town Portish has the beautiful rock of Donegal. Leitrim is the least populated county. No one has met anyone from there, and people believe that it's just a scam to get more EU development funding. The people are lovely and more laid back compared to the other counties. And don't worry, the rumors about them not having traffic lights isn't true. They've got one now. And in the county town Carrick-on-Shannon, you can always have a good night out. Limerick sits at the mouth of the River Shannon, the longest river in Ireland, and it used to be known for gang violence and as quote-unquote Stab City, although it has much improved over the past 10 years, and it's safe now, but still dodgy in places. You won't break the bank living in this county, and the city feels more like a large town than a city. The GA is also pretty big in Limerick. Also, the city is filled with partying students and has a great music scene. Overall, you'll be comfortable living in this county only if you find a house, because there's a housing shortage. Longford is Ireland's Area 51. People are told that it exists, but no one has ever been there or met anyone from there. The rest of the country only get reminded of them when they drive through it on their way to Cavan. But these are just exaggerations. There are a lot of nice places there. For example, Lough Ree. Louth is the smallest county in Ireland. It has the beautiful Cooley Peninsula, and I believe it's one of the counties with the strongest and deepest connections to Irish history and mythology. Louth has one of the highest ratios of pubs to population in the country, and it's where they make these great Connemara whiskies. Also, it's famous for its derby. Donegal is the town between Belfast and Dublin. It has parts like this and like this. Mayo is a gorgeous county with lots of different terrains and landscapes. They haven't won any All-Ireland Senior Football Championships since 1951, allegedly because of a priest's curse. But if you want to show your support for Mayo's never-ending quest to win the Sam Maguire Cup, you shout, "Mayo for Sam." And the county town Castlebar is a bit grim and sleepy. In Meath County, you're either a Dublin wannabe or a farmer who drives a John Deere and hates being overshadowed by Dublin. By the way, Dubs are colonizing Meath. Meath was once known as the Royal County because it was considered the seat of the High Kings of Ireland at Tara. They also have the Newgrange, which is a prehistoric monument from 5,000 years ago. People in Meath lose their minds commuting, and many youngsters eventually move out. The county town, Navan, gave us Pierce Brosnan, the James Bond. That alone beats everything. And I don't know, it reads the same forwards and backwards. Monaghan County is like the quiet kid in the class. He never really contributes much to the conversation, so people forget he's even there. But he's nice enough, so people are okay with him hanging around. North Monaghan has some Nordy accent, and generally people are lovely and tight-knit. But this place is the real-life equivalent of Silent Hill. It's grey and it could be depressing most of the year. Also, shut up, it's not in the UK. In Offaly, all they do is scream at the TV while watching GA games and exploit bugs, which they later turn into tourist attractions. Offaly and Laois are basically the same, but don't tell them that. Brian Cohen is from Offaly and so is Obama. So here's the deal. They dug up one of his ancestors and made a big deal out of it. The county town Tullamore hosts the Great Tullamore Show, which is a major agricultural event. Roscommon is an urban legend, and a lot of people don't believe in it. The county is so rural and so flat that they would even call this a mountain. If you want to get a good feel of what Ireland was like during the 1940s, go to this county. But Roscommon has a redeeming quality, the landscapes. But overall, I think it's a hidden gem. In Sligo County, you're either a 20-year-old surfer or an 80-year-old granny. Wow, that rhymes. The scenery in this county is breathtaking. The beaches, the mountains, they're goated. Also, these people like drinking craft beer, playing golf, and it's a great place if you're into traditional Irish music. And Sligo town is small and isolated. Tipperary County is agricultural with lots of farmers who raise cattle and don't drink much. Maybe a few pints, just a few. The county has some small towns, so you can even fart without everyone noticing it. Why? Because somehow they're all related to each other. But hey, at least they're all friendly, and the women are beautiful. Also, Tipperary people spend a surprisingly long amount of time in traffic jams. The county town Clonmel has lots of roundabouts and is where they make balmers. And as soon as they can walk, they start playing hurling. When you hear Tyrone, you may imagine an African-American man, but not if you're from Ireland. It's the largest county in Northern Ireland and is made up of rolling hills, forests, rivers, and the beautiful Spurn Mountains. In Tyrone, they play Ga at an elite level. They're especially proud of their Gaelic football and are known for making great tactics. The people love jamming to traditional Irish music and drinking big glasses of milk with their lunch. And about Armagh, the county town, is home to the beautiful Ulster American Folk Park, which is an open-air museum. They say Waterford is like a time capsule. But why? Well, the city was hit hard by the recession and it still hasn't recovered as well as, say, Dublin. People joke that time stopped in Waterford back in 2006. The city itself is spread out with a decent nightlife, although the city center isn't the most flattering. The nightlife is mainly geared towards students, so it's best if you're between 18 and 22. Waterford always seems to get empty promises and remains a bit neglected. But hey, it's warm, it has great beaches, and you can even have 3 pints for lunch at work and don't get anything done after 12 p.m. Westmeath. It's like Meath, but to the west. The people though are tired of always explaining to Dubs that Westmeath is a separate county and it's not part of Meath. Just like most other Midlanders, the county is quiet, rural, and not much happens there. And Mullingar is the county town. Wexford is famous for strawberries and its beautiful, quiet and uncrowded beaches. It has some of the best weather in Ireland. I mean, it's great if you like a quiet life. Generally, it's drier and sunnier than the rest of the country. The county is also beautiful, rural and isolated. The locals love nothing more than Dutch Gold, well, maybe Rissoles. Also, they're tightly knit and drive really badly. Although maybe that's because of their bad roads. Wexford has a unique accent. Damn! There really are a lot of different accents in Ireland. The county is also filled with Dubliners who live in mobile homes. Wicklow, the land of landlords, the garden of Ireland. The county is pretty small and is filled with Dubliners. In fact, Dubs have taken over areas in the north, east and Bray City. The name comes from the Norse word Vikinglo, which means meadow or valley of Vikings. Why is that? Because they got raided by Vikings in 800 AD. In Wicklow, you're either a posh country snob who drives a Range Rover, a poor sheep farmer with a peaked cap who loves his sheepdog more than anything, or a Dublin commuter who's always stuck in the traffic, has been waiting on health service lists forever, and doesn't even have time to go out for a pint. And the final fact, parts of Braveheart were filmed in this county.